Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Equally Different. Now, it's not obvious necessarily from the title, but this is another in the Equality Cages series, so gUBBLOR has been busy. He's put out a couple since we've actually played some of the last Equality Cages puzzles. And I imagine I'm actually behind on shifted dots and shifted lines. So don't worry, we've committed to the series. We're going to finish the series, or, well, keep going as long as gUBBLOR keeps putting them out. Now, there were essentially a couple or a handful of puzzles I should say, that I could have picked from, but this one caught my attention more than the rest because it uses a variant I have not come across before, which is the difference line. Or at least I don't think I have come across before. So really looking forward to this particular puzzle today. Now, in terms of the thumbnail, you can see that Sleuth here is stuck between a couple of statues there in some temple, something, and they are clearly different in some shape. Fairly obvious. Anyway, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Equality Cages 136, Equally Different by gUBBLOR, and the following set of rules. First one is obvious, normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box, without any repeats, of course. Equality cages. Cages must have an equal number of low digits, so 1, 2, 3, 4, high digits 6, 7, 8, 9, not 5. It must also have an equal number of even digits, such as 2, 4, and odd digits, such as 7, 9. So that would be a valid pencil mark for this cage. Now, equality cages can never contain a 5, and digits may not repeat in a cage. So these two cells, for example, could be the same, but they're not according to the rule sets. Even though they're in different rows, columns, and boxes, they're in the same cage. What else do we have? We've got this same difference line. So each pair of digits on same difference lines. Each pair of digits on the lines has the same difference. So I think just remove the word 1. So each pair of digits on the lines have the same difference. And all lines must have a unique difference values. So what I think that's saying, so let's imagine that this is 5 and this is 2. There's a difference of 3. And therefore this line, well, the next one along, the pair must have a difference of 3 again. So that would have to repeat the 5. And that would be a valid pencil mark for this difference line. But what I think it's also saying is that I couldn't do something as follows, 3 and 6, and let's say 9. That also has a difference of 3, and I can't have the same difference on different lines. All lines must have a unique difference value. So yeah, that is correct. So that would break the puzzle, but this is a valid pencil mark. Okay. Kropki dots, a black dot between cells, indicate cell values with a 2-to-1 ratio. So if this cell is 2, this would be 1 or 4, for example, to make sure that one cell is double the other. A white dot between cells indicates cells with consecutive values. So if this is a 2, this would be 1 or 3, for example. I really regret using this, by the way, as an example right now. But not all dots are shown. So 2 in here with a 4, clearly in a 2-to-1 ratio, not a problem. 4 with a 5 in here, clearly consecutive without a white dot, also not a problem. Not all dots are shown. Then last but not least, we've got V's. So adjacent cells connected with a V must sum up to 5. So if this is a 2, this would have to be a 3 to make sure that these two cells add up to 5. And not all V's are shown. So if I have a 1 in here and the 1 and 4 clearly add up to 5 without a V between them, not a problem either. So that's all the rules we have for today. As always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. With that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So yeah, sorry about that, but it's fairly obvious that there's a bit of a break-in in here. These two cells have to be low. I could either have 1, 4, or I could have 2, 3. And in fact, there's a bit of a bias here because of the black Kropki dot. From the two options for a 5, this would have to be 3, 4, and this would have to be the 1, 2. Because these two cells have to be high digits now. If I've got 2 low digits in an equality cage, I need 2 high digits, and therefore this cell has to be a high digit, and it would be 6 or 8. And this would be, well, it can't be 5, obviously, because that's an equality cage, so it'll be 7 or 9. And then this cell basically has to have the same difference. So this difference line is probably where we're going to go next. So let's think about options. So 4, 8, a difference of 4, we place a 4 in here, and then I'm kind of in trouble immediately with the equality cage, because, let me show you, if this is 4, I need to have something that is 4 away, exactly 4, it's not 4 or more. And the only other digit that would work would be an 8, and these two are both even, and I need one even and one odd. So that's not going to work. So I have to have 3, I have to have 6, that would be 2, that would be 7. That's looking good. This line is a difference of 5, this line is a difference of 3. Technically that could be 9, although I don't think that would work, because the 9 would require, 9 would require a 6 in here to be 3 away, and that doesn't work in the equality cage. So that would have to be the 3, then I would have to have a 6, and then I can have a 9, because essentially I can't repeat the 3. That would have to be 3 or more, not 3 or more, exactly 3 away. Right, we have our break-in. This cell, difference of 5, that's quite easy. I can only oscillate between these two digits back and forth, unlike the 3. So this is just 2, 7, 2, 7 again. This cell, to complete the equality cage, has to be 7 or 9. It is clearly not a 7, that is a 9. Then this equality cage, well, it can't be, just kind of quick recap, there's essentially 2 sets of equality cages. There's the ones where I have even kind of low digits, and therefore it would have odd high digits. Then there's the other set, which is the 1, 3, as in low odd digits, and then high even digits. Now, by eliminating both 7 and 9, I can't use either of 2, 4, 7, or 9. This has to be 1, 3, 6, 8, and it's not 3, 6, it is exactly 1, 8. Okay. Don't know what that means. Actually, I do know what that means. So I kind of deleted these prematurely. So this equality cage can't be 1, 3, 6, 8. I mean, it can't be 3, 6, that part is obvious. But if I repeat the 1, 8 in here, I've broken this cell. Can't have 3 cells that are made up of 1 and 8. So this is 2, 4, 7, 9, and there is a definite 7 in here with 2, 4, or 7. And I think that will probably help me a little bit with this difference. So if this is 1, the implication is that this is 7. Is that the implication? Yes. Although technically I could do 1 and 2 as in a difference of 1. That would require a difference of 1 in here again with a 2, so that's not going to work. The other option, the 1 and 4, that's a difference of 3, but I've already used it. So that's not going to work either. So if this is 1, 7, that's a difference of 6. And then to repeat the difference of 6, it would require a second 7 in the box, which would break. So that has to be the 8, that has to be the 1. And I'm going to say, regrettably, it looks like I can use any of them. You know, the 2 is a difference of 6, which I haven't used yet. The 4 is a difference of 4, which I haven't used yet. And the 7 is a difference of 1, which I haven't used yet either. Difference in 1 doesn't work because 7 and 9 is not available. And if it's a difference of 6, that would have to be a 2, which isn't available. So this is 4, this is 4, and this is definitely 7 to make sure that the equality cage is valid. Right, this is going better than expected so far. Despite being a new rule set, 2 and 7, just Sudoku, are down here. Then I have a choice around the 5 and 9. As in this cell is 5 or 9, and then there's a second 5 and 9 inside these 3. Is it this cell that's easier? Like, I'm going to keep going here, but I mean, equally, I could have gone right. But it's just in general, there seems to be more clues in boxes 5 and 8, so I'm going to just think about those first. So I have 3, 5, and 6 in here. Now I know that can't be 3, 6 for the reason I mentioned earlier. Otherwise the difference would be 6. Sorry, the difference would be 3, which I've already used. So the 5 must be in one of these 2 cells. And depending on which one it is, it's either a difference of 1 or a difference of 2. Okay? I've no idea. I mean, like, I could try and kind of get something out of this in here, but that just feels fruitless right now. I need more information before I try and give this one a go. And yeah, Sudoku is not helping me here. So yeah, I'm going to move on. I'm just going to think around what all of these are now. Maybe the black Kropki dot. Right, let's think about this for a second. So intuitively, this has to be a relatively small difference. If it's a difference of 5 or more, what I end up doing is oscillating around the 5. So this is like, let's say, a difference of 5, which, by the way, I've already used, so it doesn't really work. Let's say it's a difference of 4. Actually, that's not illustrating my point. Let's try 1. Let's try 8. So that's a difference of 7. Now, I can't possibly have another difference of 7 without repeating the digit in the same column. So I need a relatively low difference that would allow me to get to 2 different digits in here. And it can't be 3. We've used it. We know 5 doesn't really matter. I've actually used 4 as well. So I've used 3 and 4. So when we're talking about now a difference of 1 or 2, sorry, I'm just kind of doubting my sentence here. If actually a difference of 0 works. It doesn't, of course, because these two would end up being the same if it's a difference of 0. But I'm actually just... How many lines do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've covered these. 6, 7, 8, 9. And I can't have a difference of 9 because the biggest difference between 1 and 9 is 8. So I actually have to have a line with a difference of 0. Which is either this... No, it can't be this line because these two cells would be the same. So it can't be this line, can't be that line, can't be this line, otherwise it would repeat in the column, can't be in here, otherwise they would repeat in the row, can't be in there, they'd repeat in the box, can't be in there, they'd repeat in the box. So this one is exactly a difference of 0. And this, if you remember, was 2, 7, 5, 9. That was my options, but it's the same across all of them. And this is 2, 7, 9. This is very clever. So that's all 5s. That's a 9. That's a 2, 7 pair. And it doesn't really help me with the difference of 1 or 2 in here, but so my temptation is to think that this is, well, okay, it's definitely a high digit and a low digit in black Kropki. I don't even need to think about it that hard. Without the 2, I can't do 1, 2. I can't do 2, 4. I can only do 3, 6, and 4, 8. Okay, these 3 cells will help. So this is 1, 4, 8. Therefore, this is a 3 and 6 option. And then I need a difference of 1 or 2 between these. I say 1 or 2. It's a difference of 2 or 4 between these cells. So 6 and 8 works with a 7. 3 and 4 doesn't, but to be fair, 6 and 4 would if that's 5, but it can't. So that can't be 4. This is 1, 8, which actually makes this cell 1, 8 as well. Because, again, you need a combo of low and high digits, and once you have 1, 8 here and 3, 6 there, that is forced to be the other 1, 8. 3 and 6 in here actually places a 5. Could have spotted that a bit earlier. And this is 3, 6 in there, and this is 1, 8, and 4. It's interesting that there is like vertical... I keep forgetting the name of this thing. Striping, roping, 1, 4, 8, 2, 5, 7. Is it? I don't know why it's turning out that way, and I don't know if it's forced. That has to be a 9. That's the remaining digit in the box. And, well, it can't be a difference of 5, so that can't be a 4. 4 is gone. That's the 4. Difference of 8 works, and difference of 1 works. So my options with both of these is essentially another 1/8. It's either a difference of 8, in which case this is 1, or it's a difference of 1, in which case this is 8. I kind of walked away from this. Let me just think about this again. So I said it's a difference of 1 or 2. So it could be 6, 7, 8. That works. Clearly, it can also be 3, 2, 1. That would work as well. I kind of want to double check how many I've actually used of these. Hang on, this is always a difference of 1, isn't it? Because a difference of 2. So the other option was this had a 4. And the 4 didn't work because it couldn't be 5. And then the 3 couldn't work because it was split. It would be half. So the 4 was not an option. So that was always 1/8. And therefore that is a difference of 1. And therefore this can't be the difference of 1. That has to be kind of double 1. And that's the difference of 8. Like I'm and this can't be a difference of 1 anymore because I'm using it in this one. So this has to be a difference of 3. Sorry, 2. You know what I mean. Right, so which ones have we used so far? We've used 0. We've used 1 in here. We've used 2 in there. We've used 3. We've used 4. We've used 5. And we've used 8 down here. So essentially the difference between these is 6 and 7. Okay. I don't really know how to pencil mark that, but just kind of try and remember that and come back to it. Now, a difference of 2, this is either 3 or 7. It's clearly not a 7, that's 3. This is 1 or 5. It can't be 5 inside an equality case, so it has to be 1. Now, the difference that we talked about of 6 and 7 means that 1 is low, 1 is high. So this has to be essentially the opposite of whatever the 1 is to make sure that I have an equal number of high and low digits. So this can't be 6, 7. This is 8, 9. Okay. Eight's not here. 8 is in one of these cells. Not hugely useful, to be fair. 5's not here. 5. I mean, I could pencil mark all of this, but like, I feel like I need more information to just make it worthwhile. Though, to be fair, I'm kind of struggling to see where the more information would come from. What is this? 5, 8, 5, 7, 8. That is not 7. This is 5, 8. This is 7 in one of these two cells. This is like, yeah, this is not proving very useful. 5, 7, 8 in here. Let's just focus on these difference lines for a second. So what we've established is that they oscillate between low and high. Now, if this is high, 6, 7, and 9 means that this would have to be an 8. Then I said there could be a difference of 6 or 7, which would mean 1 or 2. But you see, with this 2 in here, I can't make a difference of 6. I have to make a difference of 7. So it would require a double 1, like 1, 8, 1. That's if this is high and these are low. Now, clearly there's the flip side of that, which would make this 8 or 9, and then a difference of 6 or 7. Sorry, taking a second there. I think it's 1 or 2. Am I right thinking that? Difference of 6, difference of 7. Yeah, 9 and a difference of 6 would allow me to get to 3. Yeah, so that's quite wide. That's not helpful. 1, 2, 3 in here. And I can get to a 1 with a difference of 7. I could make this 8, 1, 8. And that seems okay. That wasn't helpful either. Kind of surprised I can't force this into one or the other. Okay, so this equality cage isn't proving very helpful. The only thing I can say about it for sure is there's no 9 in here. There's no 6, 7. There's no 6, 7. I could end up with 6 and 7 in here, can't I? And then I would have 8 in there, which would make this 9. So if it's 8, it would have to be 3, 8 or 1, 8. And then, yeah, this I'm probably missing much easier things that are, using Sudoku. And I should probably try and spot these first. This being a relatively high, in fact, it can't be 5. I said the remaining is 6 or 7, so that can't be 5. To remove the 5 is an option. Now, if this is 7, I'm pretty sure that doesn't work because a difference of 6 would require a second 1. A difference of 7 would make this 0. So that has to be the 8. That has to be the 5. That has to be the 7. That gives me the 2. Therefore, that makes this a difference of 1. We always knew that. That's 3. That's 1. That's 6. That's 8. Neither of these are 1. Now, I need a difference of 6 or 7, and it can't be 7 because it would repeat the 1. So that would have to be a 2. And then it's a difference of 6, so that would have to be 8. That would have to be 9. That would be 8 again. That would be 4. And then this 8 removes an 8 from here. Don't know if that was useful for something. Difference of 6 means that this is a difference of 7. So I'm going to wipe this clear for a second. Difference of 7 means that 2 or 8, and then bouncing back to the same thing again, 1, 9. Right, that's better. Not 1, 2. This is clearly not the low digit because 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the high digit, and this is the low digit, which is 3 or 4. And then its partner is, if it's 3, it would be 6 because it's not 8. If it's 4, both 7 and 9 work. Hmm. 8, we had that earlier, means this is the 8. This is 1, 2. There's essentially like a virtual 1, 2 pair between these 3 cells. And then this is 5, 4, or 4, 5. In here is a 2, a 9, and a 6. Don't know where they go. I don't know where they go. I don't know where they go. 3's not here, 3's not there. 3's in one of 2 cells, not very useful. 8's down here, that's kind of useful. 5 is not here. In fact, 5 is in one of these 2 cells for sure. Let's think about the rest of this for a second. So I need 4, 5, 6, and 9. And 9 can't be in any of these. That's the 9. That's the 6. And then this is 4, 5, 6. And they're, of course, all in different rows. So that's not 4, that's not 5. So I can't resolve it. That's okay. Then I need a 1, which can't be in any of these cells. That's the 1. Then I need 6. No, I need 3 and 7, which isn't resolved either. Okay. And doesn't help me on this side. So I need another 2, 8, and then another 4, 6, just to complete the row. And then another 3, 7, another 4, 5, plus a 6. Yeah, this is not 6, which means that can't be 3 because that can't be 6 or 8. So that is definitely 4, which makes this 5, 4. And then this is 3, 7 or 9. It is not 9. So that's 3, 7. That gives me a 3, 7 pair. That's a 9. Then I have another 3, 7, a 6, and a 5. And the 5s, that's the 5. That's the 6. This is the 3, 7. And then in here is another 1, 9, 3, 7. Right, shall we just go back to the variant for a second? Let's see with all of these things. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 means that's the high digit. This is 6 or 7. And it can't be 8 or 9. This is the low digit, which is not 1. or 3, it is 2 or 4, which forces this to be 7, and this is 2 or 4. And that 7 hasn't helped, but that 1 has. I don't know how I missed that totally. 9 to 9, which also gives me 4. This is another 5 or 6. It is a 6 because of that 5. I think we've got this basically at this point. 4, 6. We know what this is. It's an 8. I need 1, 3, 5. That's not 3 or 5. That's 1, that's 2, that's 1. That's the 5, that's the 3. This is a known digit. Sorry, my scanning is just horrendously slow. I imagine some of you are seeing a lot of this a little bit quicker than I am. There's a 1 in there. There is a 2. Somewhere in this column is in here. 3 is there. 4 is here. 5. I need 6. If I've not made any mistakes, 8 for the finish. Phenomenal puzzle, gUBBLOR. Phenomenal puzzle. I mean, I think I've said it a few times before. What I really enjoy about the equality cages, aside from the fact I actually quite like the variant itself, is that whenever gUBBLOR decides to incorporate a new variant, he really does use kind of a really beautiful fusion of the two. You know, such as this 3-6, this 3. I mean, you know, if you played enough equality cages, you can almost, you know, spot kind of this kind of break in a mile away. Regardless, fantastic puzzle. I hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video, and I'll see you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.